Okay, folks, it's your buddy Mike Messier. Very special, spooky, scary, perhaps, but also romantic. Interesting film I just saw, Bones and All. I feel like I say this line a lot. If you're a horror fan, you'll probably like this movie. If you're not a horror fan, I'm not sure. So should you see the movie? See, here's the thing. This is not Terrifier 2. This is not Halloween Ends. This is a different type of horror film, a mature horror film, much like my writings, A Distance from Avalon, Disregard the Vampire, Mike Messier documentary, and the new exciting projects that you'll soon be seeing right here on Subscribe to Mike Messier YouTube channel. This film, Bones and All, is a thinking person's horror film. And also kind of for goth people, if you find yourself going to Hot Topic or whatever the fuck the kids go to these days, Spencer's Gifts, is that place is still in business? That was always part of my childhood, was comparing Spencer's Gifts to the other place that I just mentioned, Hot Topic, and which one's gothier. Well, if you're in a goth couple, then go see this movie, I guess. Go drink each other's blood like Angelina Jolie and her brother 15 or 20 years ago. This movie's quite good. The female lead, so this is what I say. I mean, if you just like blood and guts horror, this might be intellectually too challenging for you, I guess, or maybe not if you're a Renaissance person and likes all types of horror. But if you are a person who gets a little queasy in the stomach, this is not the most intense as far as the blood and guts. I mean, there are some blood and guts in this thing, but there's a story behind it. A 2-hour and 11-minute story. Once again, these fucking movies take forever these days. Interestingly enough, I was trying to help my pal there, Angelo, up in New Jersey, try to tag me in for a very special episode of his talk show. What's the Buzz, I believe. However, my Wi-Fi connection here in North Carolina was not working for me. This car almost ran into me, for Christ's sake. But basically, I could not connect the computer and all that crap. I am driving south. I'm in Wilson, North Carolina. Never been here before. So I get to the movie theater. The last movie of the night starts at 7:15 in this small town, which is this movie. I get there literally at 7:30. The first door I pull is locked. I'm like, Christ, am I going to have to wave at the fucking kids that work here? The next door was open. I go in, and then I've got my phone all prepped to present them my phone. They didn't even have this is the AMC app I'm talking about. They didn't even have like the UPC thing for me to check in. But I did have a confirmation number for my ticket, and no one was there to take my fucking ticket or zip my phone or put my head in a fingerprint machine to verify that I am the asshole that was there as me. So I just go into the goddamn theater. I'm a big boy. I know the fucking theater that I'm going to. This is a rare AMC where you don't have to reserve the seat that you want to sit in, which pretty much means you're in a small town. You might see John Cougar Mellencamp standing on the corner singing about it. But I go in to see this movie. I go to the back row middle. I like to sit on the left side of the aisle in case any asshole comes into the theater. But given my druthers, if I have a whole row to myself and I'm not getting bottle capped, I guess sitting in the middle is good too. No recliners in this auditorium, by the way. This is old-fashioned 1980s fucking stiff chairs, stiff as a fucking rock. Maybe 1970s or whatever the fuck. But I'm in there, I'm stretching out. One other group of people came in. It seemed to be some type of couple. And then I watched the movie. Caught the tail end of some previews, and then the movie starts, and so here you go, spoilers. The movie starts off, this young appears to be lightly toned, and I guess that comes into it, not to split hairs, but there's a reason why I mention it. Lightly toned, African-American or black, whatever you prefer to say, young lady. She lives... The feeling you get is that, she's from the wrong side of the tracks. I didn't really know what this movie is about before I saw it, okay? I thought it was just a stupid romantic movie. But she starts off, and you think, oh, she's from the wrong side of the tracks. And then you kind of get the vibe, oh, this is a period piece. This is a 1980s movie. And it's like, fine, I'm down for all this. And then she sneaks out of the house. She tells her little friend, the white upper middle class friend, that the girl's inviting her to a fucking sleepover. And she says, well, my dad won't let me go. And the girl says, well, sneak out of your house. So the girl does sneak out. Our lead here, Marlon, I think her name is Marin or Marin. She sneaks out of her house. You're like, uh-oh, she's going to get a whooping from daddy when he finds out, because the dad must be abusive or whatever the fuck. She goes over to the house of these little tramps, these little trollops, her high school friends. And it kind of seems like now are we going into lesbian territory? Because her and one of these other girls, not the girl that invited her, but another one, they're lying underneath the coffee table together, kind of in an intimate way. And you're thinking, okay, is this where we're headed with this thing? But the girl that she's talking to, and they're discussing that she doesn't know Marin's mother, she doesn't know where her own mother is. She's doing their fingernails like girls do, getting her fingernails done by her friend. And then she shows off the orange color to our lead character here, Marin. And Marin looks at the finger, proceeds to put her mouth on her friend's finger, and then starts biting down hard. And suddenly, we're in a fucking horror film, folks. Suddenly, this is not just, coming of age angst, girl from the wrong side of the tracks. We've seen that movie a million times. What was it? Pretty in Pink with Molly Ringwald 30 or 40 or 50 years ago. This is a different type of animal. And then you're thinking, okay, is this a vampire story? Is this a Wolfman story? Well, what I did like about this movie, not even kind of like, is that they don't really give you a noun, not to say Kevin Nash adjective. They don't give you a noun to tell you what these things are. They don't say we're wolfmen, we're fucking vampires, we're this, that, or the other. We think we're people, but we're not sure. We're eaters, as it comes out. Eventually, the young Marin, her father, who's been dealing with this burden for years, and also as we learned in the backstory, the exposition that comes later, I guess, we learned that the father's been dealing with this with his daughter and her mother. Interestingly enough, the mother is later revealed to be being played by, Chloe Sevigny, I believe her name is. Her career, I could be getting this wrong, but I think her career went off the fucking deep end of the forest like 15 or 20 years ago. She made some decisions to be in some scenes with an ex-boyfriend, and I think it haunted her, and it affected her career in a negative way, which is too bad, because Chloe Sevigny seemed to be like of that Reese Witherspoon class of the early 2000s young women actors, or actresses, as I like to say, but her career got buried because of a poor decision. So keep that in mind as you do things, ladies, in film. You don't want this god-awful, misogynistic country that we're living in to use your choices against you, right? So then the other fucking thing that happens is this, that, and the other. She meets this creepo, this weirdo, Sully. A masterful job by whoever the actor was. I couldn't remember all the fucking actors, except the romantic heartthrob, the boy toy himself, Timothy Chalamet, who I have seen in other things. I saw him in a movie, I thought it was one of his first ones, where he played some 14-year-old kid looking at art or some such thing. He's been in a bunch of good movies. And I was watching the new Punky Brewster, and the teenage girl in that show, is basically getting all, passing through puberty by thinking of thoughts of marrying Timothy Chalamet. So I guess he's the heartbreak kid of the moment, the heartthrob for all these young women. They all think they're going to run off to Hollywood and marry Timothy Chalamet, but instead they end up with a plumber. So, in any event, Timothy Chalamet, he's a good actor, though. I'm not going to say he's not. He is a good actor, and he does this role as the boyfriend. But guess what? He's an eater, too. They're all a bunch of fucking eaters. So that's how they kind of describe themselves from Sully's perspective, is we're eaters. We eat the flesh. And then they learn from another couple of freaks, that when you have bones and all, when you eat the human flesh and the bones, like from top to bottom, that's like another advanced level of this eater shit. So, like I said, folks, if you like horror, but also if you like romance, I mean, you know, it's a great gothic romantic movie. If you got the right type of girl, you know, the goth girl with the fucking black dress or whatever the fuck, if you find Wednesday Addams in your neighborhood, take her to see this movie, because she'll probably write poems about it in the fucking parking lot. So I like the goddamned movie. The lead actress, I think her name was Taylor something or other. Never seen her before. She's quite good. Very good, actually. And I hope that she has more movies coming out soon. And so on and so forth. So subscribe to Mike Messier YouTube channel if you want to read, if you further like horror, A Distance from Avalon, my fucking book on Amazon. Go up to the top of this fucking Mike Messier video and click on my fucking book. Buy Mike's book, for Christ's sakes. I know a lot of you fucks watch my videos, but some of you assholes aren't buying my goddamn books, so maybe you should. No offense. So, what else? That's about it, folks. I'm going to go get my dinner, which in this small town, basically what's open is Papa John's, so I will be eating pizza tonight. I will be eating it, bones and all. Subscribe to Mike Messier YouTube channel. Good movie.